Hey guys, so for these nails I'm going to be using Alien Invasion, Wild Strawberry, Uber Carrot, Shocking Yellow, Lime Green, Forget Me Not, and I'm going to be using Max Adhesion Monomer. So I'm going to start off by using a little bit of Forget Me Not and just applying that to the tip of these nails. I have had a bit of a mental block lately, so I just decided to go with something super simple that I could do and anybody could recreate. So after I've put down Forget Me Not at the tip of these nails, I went in with Lime Green and just blended that down onto Forget Me Not. And then I took Shocking Yellow and put that above Lime Green and blended that down into Lime Green. So these nails are going to be a 6 colour ombre, but they are super easy to do because they are colours that blend well into each other. So above Shocking Yellow, I've just gone in with Uber Carrot and blended that down into Shocking Yellow. And now I've just gone in with Wild Strawberry and I've blended that down into Uber Carrot. And once I've done that, I'm placing Alien Invasion at the cuticle area and blending that down into Wild Strawberry. If you do have problems blending colours into each other or doing ombres in general, you can use an acrylic like natural, which is like a semi-translucent, semi-transparent colour, and that will help with the blend. So now I'm moving on to the pinky finger and I'm literally just doing the same thing that I did with the middle finger. So I'm putting Forget Me Not on the tip, then I'm going in with Lime Green and blending that down. And then I'm going in with Shocking Yellow, blending that one down, Uber Carrot and Wild Strawberry. But with this now, I'm not going to be using Alien Invasion. I'm using Natural Beige and I'm placing that in the nail bed area and I'm just blending that down over the rest of the colours. So all these nails are going to be pretty similar, but I did want to switch them up a little bit and not make them completely identical to each other. So now moving on to the index finger and I'm going in with Natural Beige and I'm creating an extended nail bed. So I'm placing that bead halfway down the nail bed and then I'm just pressing it and pulling it down and going in with the tip of my brush to pull the sides of that bead down into a sort of rounded point. Once I'm happy with the shape of that, I get another bead of Natural Beige and I place that in the cuticle area and just blend that down onto that extended nail bed. So now moving on to the ring finger, I'm just picking up a bead of crystal clear acrylic and then I'm dipping that into this glitter called Heaven. I'm placing that onto the nail and I'm just patting it out and trying to cover all of that nail using that glitter. You can also apply the acrylic and then put the glitter on top of the acrylic and just press it into it to stick it down. But I just prefer to pick up the glitter with the acrylic. So I'm just making sure that that entire nail is covered with glitter and that there are no little gaps or spaces. So now I'm going back to the index finger and I'm using my nail file to shape that extended nail bed and make sure that it's perfect. And then I'm pretty much just going to do the same thing that I did on the middle finger and the pinky finger. So again, I'm going to be using Forget Me Not right at the tip and then blending lime green into that. Then I'm blending Shocking Yellow down into lime green. Then I'm blending Uber Carrot down into Shocking Yellow. Wild Strawberry into Uber Carrot. And then I'm going to be blending Alien Invasion down into Wild Strawberry. I'm a bit ill at the moment, so I might sound a little bit nasally, but I really wanted to get this video out while it was still Pride Month. I did these nails at the beginning of the month, but in true me fashion, I just haven't got around to doing the voiceover. So now I'm just using crystal clear acrylic to cap the tip of that nail. I'm not capping the nail bed because I'm going to go in with my e-file and just file it down and make sure that the meeting point between the nail bed and the tip is super neat. And then I'm going back to the index finger and just using the coarse bit on my e-file to file over that nail bed to make sure that there's no colourful glitter on the actual nail bed. So now moving on to the middle finger, I'm using a bead of crystal clear acrylic and dipping it into that same glitter that I used earlier called Heaven. And I'm just placing that onto the nail and creating a sort of S shape. And now I've gone back to the ring finger and I'm using crystal clear to encapsulate that nail. I actually went in and encapsulated the rest of the nails as well at this point using crystal clear acrylic. But I just haven't shown it because I don't feel like it's that interesting to watch me capping the nails. So while I'm capping the nail, I'm making sure that the nail has a really good structure, making sure that it has a good apex. Even though these nails are on a mannequin hand, it's still worth making sure that the nails have a good structure. So then when you actually do a human's nails, you know what you're doing. So now that I've encapsulated all the nails, I'm going to create these little flowers on the ring fingernail. So I'm using a size 4 3D brush from Nail Nails. So for the first flower, I'm using Alien Invasion and Wild Strawberry. I'm just dipping my brush into Wild Strawberry and then Alien Invasion. And then I'm placing that bead down onto the nail. Once that bead goes a little bit matte, then I press down on that bead and drag it out to create a sort of petal shape. So for the next flower, I dip my bead into Uber Carrot and Shocking Yellow, and I just do exactly the same thing. I place the little beads down onto the nail, and then once they go matte, I just press down on them and pull them out to create a sort of petal shape. I'm using 2 colours for every flower because I wanted the flowers to have a sort of ombre petal type effect. I didn't want them to just be one colour. So for the last flower, I'm dipping my brush into Forget Me Not and then Lime Green, and then doing exactly the same thing as I did with the other flowers. Just putting the bead down onto the nail and pressing it out to create a sort of petal shape. So now I'm using Lavender Violet's top coat to top coat these nails. I did end up using a different top coat to make these nails matte because I wanted to see what they would look like, and I did end up preferring the matte version, so I left them matte. On the ring finger, I'm making sure not to put top coat on top of the flowers because I don't want them to be shiny. So after I go over the large areas with the nail polish brush, I use a very thin brush to go in between those petals and make sure that the whole nail is top coated. So I've added some little Swarovskis to these flowers before I cure this nail. Normally I'd use builder gel to stick the Swarovskis down, but because it's a mannequin hand, I really couldn't be bothered. So once I'd put the Swarovskis down, then I cured that nail. So this is how the nails look with a glossy top coat. So the matte top coat I used was from Nail Nails. I think it was the ultra matte top coat, and I personally prefer the way how they look matte. Let me know if you prefer the nails glossy or matte. I really hope you've enjoyed watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you stay blessed and look after yourself. Bye.